know, fist fights. It was, you know, you might get bruised up, broken things, but you're not losing your life. All right. Now that's what happened there. So, you know, real like pussy behaviour, what's going on out here. And communities, families having to deal with all of this. Now, where this is leading me, all right. Now, Tion Campbell had his funeral, and at that funeral, groups of youths rolled up with huge machetes, Rambos. Altercation takes place, and somebody at that funeral gets stabbed in the neck. Now, this type of stuff has been going on. I've heard about this a lot, right, at the funerals. I've heard of brothers who've died, it's their funeral, and at their funeral, their other brother gets murdered, right? Now, how much more are families expected to take? How much more can communities take, right? It's down to us to actually make changes, get these changes made. This cannot continue, right? And we need your help, okay? We need your help to push this platform, this podcast, right? We need your help with the petition that we're running, okay, which has only got life-saving initiatives on it. It takes 30 seconds, right, to sign the petition. We've also got the bleed control campaign, right, which we suggested last week. You know, if you can donate to it, even £1, right? If everybody on this Instagram, on my Instagram accounts, just put in £1, right? The link is in the GoFundMe. If you haven't got any money, right, share it for us, okay? Right? This is to put in our communities. At the moment, I am raising money for London communities, right, to put the bleed control kits in, because we're very behind. These should be in place for everyone. Just think of bleed control is like having plasters throughout the whole of London and the whole of the UK, right? So we get them in place, right? Then we can get to work on other things, right? That are highly important, like the massive shout out to Gangster Dub, who's just joined us. He was just saying the Instagram was bugging out. It does do that. It's a hit and miss, isn't it, really, with this? But yeah, where was I? Right, so literally, we need your help and support, okay? So the GoFundMe, donation, or if you're a gym person, right, donate some miles at the gym. Send us a screenshot of your miles on the machine, right? Because we're running an initiative where £1 per mile, right? Christella, she's earned £50 so far, so big up to Christella, all right? But the bleed control kits cost £100 each. The cabinets are £600. Please check out all the information that's up on our pages and the YouTube channel. Gangster Dub is saying, hey sis, I've been here for ages but couldn't see anyone's comments and there was no request button. Oh, that's weird. Definitely didn't see you up on here before. Shout out to Kel's Music as well. But yes, hope you're all having a wonderful Father's Day. All right, enjoy it. Okay. Sending lots and lots of love out to you all. All right. But yeah, so the initiatives are, like I said, we've got the petition. We were doing the Make Noise End Knife Crime. That is still running, but it's not just on a Sunday, all right? Yeah, I'm going to take your live, but just, it's going to be a quick one, all right? Because I know what we're like when we get on. All right, so I'm going to get you on in a second. Let's go. Hang on. But yes, please, we need support right? We need you to spread the word. Hey, good to see
How are
you.
you? Yeah, it's been a while.
It
I've been
has.
hibernating.
It has. Happy Father's Day.
I didn't even know it was.
Ah, uh,
Okay.
yeah,
Um, what was I going to say? Yeah, there's been a bunch of murders here lately as well.
that's there.
You quite possibly haven't heard
Mm.
because, as you know, the police have got the ability to put a D notice on the media,
Oh, is
especially
that what
with
they do?
gang
Yeah.
murders. Oh, you didn't know?
No, I didn't
You didn't
realise.
know that?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
shit.
So that's good. At
I
least I
thought this
learnt
was
some.
common knowledge.
No.
Or
No.
maybe I'm onto something that people are not aware of then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You
Yeah,
always
the
are, though.
police.
Yeah.
Okay.
Aren't you?
The, I guess the police have got the ability to put what's called a D notice on the media.
Mhm.
And the government gave them that ability. What that means is they have a right to tell the media they're not allowed to report certain things.
Oh, that
Yeah,
explains
and
it.
that's
Yeah.
down to the police discretion,
Mhm.
and that can include so many things. I mean, I'd put to you that included Jimmy Savile.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I would
and
say, yeah. Hmm.
yeah, one of those things is gang murders. A long time ago, they said when they report gang murders in the media, gang members use the newspaper reports as like a kind of badge of honor, put it up
Oh,
on their wall
yes.
and stuff. But
Yeah.
that didn't make sense to me. Do you know
Yeah.
why?
Yeah.
Because why are you going to discourage people from doing something that's potentially incriminating in a court case if you
Yeah.
catch them?
Yeah.
You
Doesn't
know,
make any sense, does
if you
it?
saw they've done it and they've got newspaper clippings about that incident on their bedroom wall, isn't that an item of interest for the court?
Mm.
Why would they like prevent people from doing
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I
This
never
is
got
what's
that.
so confusing
Didn't make
about
sense to
everything.
me.
Yeah. There's a lot that
Right.
doesn't make sense. And when it doesn't make sense, you know there's something up.
Yeah. Can I tell you what I think it might be?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
The skewing of statistics for the National Crime Report, so
Ah,
they can make it look like
a
they're
certain.
dealing with shit.
Yeah. 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 I
And
totally
whenever they
believe that.
want, they can make it look like there's been a dramatic increase in violence because they'll allow the media to report violent incidents at a
Ah,
particular point where it suits the government
yeah.
because they want to bring in certain legislation or implement a Section 60 on a
Yeah.
particular area.
God, I wish I
Yeah?
knew this earlier, yeah, because
Right. So
Sorry.
what they'll do is the police will control the media narrative using deciding whether they're going to put a D notice on certain things or not, and that enables them to control the statistics of criminal activity that the public are aware of.
Wow, because I wondered
Yeah.
how they're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. What it is a lot of murder happens a lot of the time. But because the media don't report it because they're not allowed to, we're unaware of it. And then when the police decide that it's in their interest or the government's interest to have a high crime rate and a high murder rate in the media,
Yeah.
that's when they don't put the D notices down. So it
Wow.
looks a particular way.
Yeah. Bloody hell. Thank you for breaking that down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. It's no
Yeah,
problem. You can look
because,
into it further. Don't just take my word
yeah.
for it. I
No,
always encourage people when I say something, don't just take my word for it. Look into it
yeah.
because it's always better when you see it with your own eyes or hear it with your own ears.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
first hand account.
Hmm. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I wish, like I was saying before, I wish I knew that earlier in the week even, because I've been I've been answering some questions for an online article that's going to be about Let the Youth Live. And one of the things were, you know, did I believe the statistics and the what the media report? And I said, no, I don't. But I didn't understand why or how they're able to make it appear when they need it to a certain way. So now I know. So that's fantastic.
Yeah. No, it's no problem. Like I said, do look into it further yourself
Yeah.
because It's always best. Like you just said, you were unaware that my locality had a number of murders recently.
Yeah.
Well, what might shock you further is they named 3 streets
Yeah.
which are very close to each other in proximity. That was Daniel Street, Star Street,
Yeah.
and I believe St. Michael Street.
Yeah.
And those 3 streets run parallel to each other off Edgware Road. They run parallel with Praed Street, where Paddington train station is.
Oh,
Yeah?
okay. Yeah.
Right. Now, what I noted of interest is those 3 murders on those 3 streets that were given in local information. You know, when they stick the posters around and shit
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, giving people a brief explanation of why the area is called Dornduff or whatever.
Mhm.
So they'd named 3 separate streets, but what I noticed walking down Paddington Praed Street in the evening
Yeah.
was there's a street called Sale Place, and if you looked straight down Sale Place, you could see the scene of all 3 of those murders that happened right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But they're not.
yeah.
Yeah. And
They
they've
were
not
all on
included that.
Sale Place, really. They weren't on 3 separate streets at all. So
No.
what were they playing at there?
Yeah.
Those 3 streets they named were intersections with Sale Place, yeah, but
Yeah. But they
it
didn't
all
mention Sale
happened on
Place.
one street.
Yeah.
So why are they saying 3 different streets that are intersections of that one street? That's what I didn't get.
Yeah.
I didn't get what they were playing at there. The more we think about it, maybe we'll realise what that was about.
Yeah.
What are they trying to do there? I can't even think about it right now. But another murder had occurred on Edgware Road itself,
Yeah.
right outside where a place called Alpha Pizza used to be.
Mhm.
Literally, a 3-minute walk from where Paddington Green Police Station used to be.
Yeah.
God, I'm glad they closed that place, though, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
That was a horrific place, yeah. Full of the worst police in the country.
Oh, shit.
The most corrupt, yeah. That station went down as the most corrupt police station in Britain.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I've got too many stories about that place, but I won't go into it now. Maybe we'll talk about it, just me and you, another time.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not going to lie, there are multiple things I'm a bit afraid to talk about the police, which I know. But, yeah,
Yeah, me too.
I don't think I'll be talking about that publicly.
Yeah. We don't want to get this account banned either.
Yeah, as well.
Do you know why I've been banned on my Sweet Lee account from going live and Best in Britain? A month. Well, I think it's a month. Can't go live. I've no idea.
They were doing it to me on my old page, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember.
Constantly. They did it for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just been going live on a different account, but yeah, and not even trying, and just hope that it goes
Imagine
back.
if that page was still up and running, all the stuff that I posted on there,
Yeah.
there would have been some misguided people probably saying I'm a prophet by now, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that, and I wouldn't encourage it because it's not true, but I've just got, I guess, information falls into my hands somehow.
Yeah, definitely. It does.
There's some strange occurrences I've had where people have just hollered me out of nowhere, and they've just said, and I don't know those people, and they've just said, hey, do you know about this? And they've sent me some of the most bizarre stuff that I don't even know how they got their hands on it.
Yeah.
I don't know who they are.
Obviously meant
where
to
they
be,
came
though.
from.
It's obviously meant to be.
It's a bit weird. It sometimes makes me feel like certain people operating in the shadows are using me like an information dump or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to quite put it, but at times I've been a bit like,
It's
Why
like,
does
yeah,
this
there,
shit
give
keep
it to
coming
you.
to
See
me
what
like
you can
that?
do with it. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. It feels like that sometimes. Yeah, and they have tried that once or twice openly. It
just want to
did work
shout
though.
out Marley J. Wills, just joined us. Big Scoop as well. Shivs as well. God, I haven't seen Shivs in ages.
Yeah, shivs, man.
Big up to you.
Oh well, I'm not sure I've got much more relevant stuff to contribute. So
But that
if
was
you want to add
amazing.
someone else,
That was amazing. Yeah, that information dump.
well, I'm glad. I'm glad that helped.
Yeah,
So
no,
uh,
definitely.
I've I've got I've got a couple of journalists that I speak to, and they've told me some interesting stuff as well. You might want to know about their plight as well. Maybe it will help you too.
Hmm.
Editorial teams.
Yeah.
Journalists are not fond of editorial teams, particularly the freelance journalists that like to have a lot more
Oh,
press freedom.
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're not fond of editorial teams. Any freelance journalist in particular that you speak to, if you ask them why you're not fond of the editorial teams,
Mhm.
they'll tell you because quite often there's a lot of stuff that the general public deserve to know and should know,
Oh,
but it's being kept from them. And the main reason for it is because of the editorial team saying you cannot publish this.
yeah.
This can't be published.
Yeah.
And they never get explained as to why
Why?
certain things can't be published. They just won't publish it. So the editorial team are part of the narrative control process, I would suggest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
got that as well in the mix.
Yes.
So do we ever get told the full truth and nothing but the truth?
Couldn't rely on that facts.
Yeah.
No,
We've
definitely
got
not.
face value statistics,
Yeah.
and
Because I've never
it looks like
trusted them. It was like, but when I'm answering that question, um, I was like, I just know that they're not the truth, right? And I know that you can't rely on what's in the media, but I didn't know how and why, and yeah. So, but I knew inside that that's not right. I mean, I
there's
went
two
on,
reasons right there now.
yeah. Now, when I went on to a meeting, I was hoping to catch Sadiq Khan. I mentioned this a bit earlier. Trying to catch him. He sent the deputy mayor. I ended up going online because I thought I'm not travelling if I'm not going to actually see Sadiq and I can't say something to him.
He's
Right?
useless, man. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie.
but I just want to say something publicly to him in front of everyone. I had a big
Uh-huh.
list. I had a big list, right? Um,
Oh,
so
was he? You didn't give him a heads up that you were gonna blow the lid off anything, did you?
no, maybe someone else
So he
did. I
wasn't
don't know.
expecting it then.
But
Okay.
what I realised, right? So I've gone into this Zoom meeting thing, right? That's being yes. So there's people at the event, and there's loads. There were loads of police, right? There was community people. But what it was relating to, which I didn't realise this really, I just thought he was talking to the community, but it was regarding a pilot scheme that they'd been doing, and also they're doing like a looking into the race. That they're doing everything they can, you know, to make changes, and one of the things they for the last 6 months, right? And I wanted to say something, and I thought, no, like, right, for 6 months, the police have been running this pilot scheme, right? That as they stop and searches, right? The people driving, right? They make a note of what race they are, right? So they can
Yeah, they always
prove
do. Right.
who they're right. Stop. But this was a new pilot thing where they report
Oh,
it,
okay.
right? So they can show us who they're stopping, right? It's not as bad as we think, right? So they spent 6 months doing this, right? Even though there could have been an easier way of, you know, but I thought this is weird. So they stand up, the policeman stands up and he says, right, and our results are that more white people are being stopped and searched, right? But we
Wouldn't you expect that in a predominantly white country as well, though?
that is yeah as well. But as far as I'm concerned, that the fact they've wasted all that time, right? So the other thing was they're not doing anything about it, right? They just decided that, okay, it's what we thought would happen, so we're not doing anything anyway. And I thought, but hang on, you've wasted 6 months, probably spent a lot of money, right? You've held this meeting, right?
Generated money for certain pockets.
Yeah, right. You've arranged this meeting, right, which is all about transparency and trust.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
When did it ever make sense that we trust people to investigate themselves?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially the
when you
fucking
don't
police,
trust them in
man.
the first place.
Yeah, and another thing, if they're being told to prove that they're not stop and searching a disproportionate number of black people in a predominantly white country,
Yeah.
is there anything stopping them from, for that 6 months, hey lads, should we just only stop the white guys
That's what
for
came
this
to
next
mind.
6 months?
That's what came
to
to mind.
skew the results.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying they did do that, but I'm just saying there's bugger all really stopping them from doing it, is there? I mean, who is there watching the police and what they do?
Yeah, but this is why, right, and I keep every opportunity I get, right, this is what I shout out, right, in front of, like, the other day, there was, oh my God, even on the Zoom thing, loads of police were on there, right? But the way the whole thing was set up, even though it said that you could talk about the Policing and Crime Act draft, the bill that he's made, right, while he's in as mayor, right? But there was no opportunity. I wrote a question, but they just blanked it, right? They must have looked and thought, what the fuck is she going on about? Like, we can't talk about that here.
Yeah, they don't want to address any issues of any pertinence.
No.
They just want to address all the fucking brain dead people who ain't got anything really alarming to say.
Yeah.
You know, because it's easier.
Yeah.
And that's what it often comes down to. It's not always what people think. I know this is going to sound like, I don't know how this is going to sound to people, but it's not always because of what we might think it is. Like, it's not always because you're not white or, for example, I want to say a lot of the time it's because human beings are lazy pieces of shit that want to cut corners, don't want to fucking do their job properly. They want to get the maximum pay for doing the least amount of work. And quite often, that's what it is. It often comes down to what is easier to do.
Yeah.
What gets them their pay packet, but it's easier for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're an easy target, regardless of what your skin color is, if they think you're vulnerable and they can stitch you up for something, they will.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are to them.
Yeah.
They'll stitch you up because they can.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, my daughter she was stopped, not that long ago, right? She's driving. Her boyfriend's in the front of the car with her. They've got the baby in the back, right? So she's driving. She's just come out of Pizza Hut. She's driving. She sees it's a van. So I think it was, one of them territorial ones where they're all back.
Oh, the TSG vans.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So they pull her over. And she's
things.
thinking, well, like, hang on, so anyway, they've pulled her over. And she's like, what's wrong? Because she's thinking, is my light out? Is something, yeah. Oh, it says this car's insured for a woman. And she's like, yeah. And she said to me, Mum, I couldn't look more like a female if I tried. Like she'd actually, because she was going out, she'd really dressed her up, and she looked feminine, right?
Your girl doesn't look masculine.
No.
What the fuck are they trying to say?
Right?
They're trying to beep her or something.
Weird, right? So she said there was fucking loads got out the van. And she was thinking, what the hell, right? So then they went, is that your boyfriend? And she's like, yeah. Right? And then she said they started acting a bit weird. One of them put their head in the car and he went, there's a baby in the back, right? And then they've all gone, baby? Right, and then they've all cleared off, right? So
Oh,
I
they were
reckon,
planning something, weren't they?
yeah, if the baby
They were
wasn't there,
blatantly fucking planning something.
I
If the
was
baby
thinking,
weren't there
yeah,
yet, if
yeah,
you were being nanny for the night,
yeah, right. So
oh boy,
yeah, right. So
yeah,
I said it
that
was
couldn't
just
have
round
been
about the
more
time
obvious.
of that court case of the Olympic woman and her husband, and they had the baby in the car. And I said, oh, I bet they've all been told, whatever you do, just just go easy. If there's any
If you see a
babies, just walk
baby, yeah,
away. Yeah,
yeah,
for now, just till we get
go
this
and
court
do
case done.
someone else instead, kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was like, oh my God. And to use that excuse, they were trying to say as well at that meeting the other night that
yeah.
they never look at who's driving. They don't make any observance at all of
Oh,
what the
you're gonna
person.
love this one.
Yeah.
I believe I've got it saved on my phone. I stitched the police on TikTok. I stitched one of their videos.
Oh,
They posted, yeah, they never gave me a response,
yeah.
I'm telling you. They must have seen it, but they didn't like it. They were
Oh,
like,
you'll
fuck
have to tag
stitching
me in
that
that.
back.
Tag me in
Check
that.
this out. What they did, they posted a video on their TikTok page, right? And I believe it was Thames Valley Police.
Oh,
What they
okay.
were doing, they were parked up in a lay-by and they were watching a car drive past,
Yeah.
right? And the copper looks at the cameraman and says, right, we're going to have these ones, switches his lights on, and he pulls off after them, yeah?
Yeah.
He catches up with them, he flashes them down and pulls them over. His statement to them when he got out of the car was grand. He said, right, lads, I'm just pulling you over for a routine stop and search. The guy goes to him, okay, officer, what's your reasonable grounds?
Yeah.
And he goes, well, there's two of you in a car.
Oh, God.
I'm thinking, hold on,
Yeah.
it's a fucking 5-seat
Yeah.
vehicle, and
Yeah.
your reasonable grounds is that there's two people in a fucking car?
Yeah.
That's not reasonable grounds, officer. So I stitched them and I told them,
Yeah.
listen, you fucking punks, that's not a reasonable grounds for stop
Yeah.
and search, but there's two fucking people
In a
in a
car.
5-seat vehicle, you stupid thick bastards.
Yeah.
I know why you're doing it, I said. You're doing it for the same reason you constantly breach the law on police programs on the television.
Yeah. They don't
Because
even
you're
know the
using
law.
cognitive dissonance programming
Yeah.
to make people believe that you can do what the fuck you want.
Yeah.
And guess what? You can't. Because people like me are going to pull you up on it.
Yeah.
Of course, they didn't stitch me back on it or reply or anything. You wouldn't
No,
expect
they're
them
not
to,
gonna.
would you?
Yeah. But no, it's
It makes you sick.
yeah.
You know, they post that on their official TikTok, Thames Valley Police,
Oh.
and they make that look like it is a reasonable grounds to stop
Yeah.
and search people in a car.
Yeah.
Two people in a fucking 5-seat
Yeah.
vehicle.
Yeah.
Does that even make logical sense
No.
to say that
Definitely not.
there's something odd going
Yeah.
on?
And even with my daughter's one, with the we thought it's registered to a woman, the insurance. Yeah. So it must be just what they do. It's anything they can just throw up out of the air.
Anything they can pluck out of their head.
Yeah.
These people, they just make it up as they go along. And if you watch these programs on television carefully and you know the law, you see all the time they're breaking the law. All the time they're challenging your rights. They're making you think you don't have any rights.
Yeah.
Well, really, you don't. We all know it.
Yeah.
But you're just led to believe you do.
You have some,
And that's
yeah.
the truth, isn't it?
Mhm. And then now they're messing with the Human Rights Act, which was the only thing that we could kind of rely on.
I reject that anyway. I reject all that shit. Why? Because I believe in inalienable God-given rights that we were all born with. And I
Right,
don't
yeah.
accept parliamentarians documenting on paper a set of corporate privileges that they then go on to say are my rights. Why? Because they've been decided by men. And if I agree to a set of corporate privileges decided by the UK PLC on a piece of paper, and that is being addressed as my rights, that means because I've accepted men dictating for me what my rights are, I have no argument of any valid grounds to tell them you can't decide when or when I don't have those privileges, if I have them or not, or anything. So I've told them in court many times, I reject human rights. I'm a free man.
Yeah,
You
which is
can't.
true though, isn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm
Yeah,
not. I'm
when you
not.
think about it.
I'm not promoting the so-called free man on the land ideology. I'm very opposed to it because it's nonsense that gets people into trouble. But I'm just talking as an individual on things that I've said to the courts, and I don't really care. They've told me before, because I speak when I want to speak in court, and they've told me on numerous occasions, contempt of court, this, that, and the other, and I've asked them, who gave you the authority to decide when and how I can enact my freedom of speech, my inalienable God-given right that I was born with to speak? And if I remain silent when you're lying about me, then that is tacit agreement. Are you arguing with me about this?
Yeah.
So I've said to them, you don't have any lawful right to tell me contempt of court for speaking for myself.
No, exactly.
They didn't.
When you
They
break it
didn't
down
send me
like
down
that,
for it.
yeah.
They couldn't really.
Yeah.
What are they going to say? Because if they tell me I have the authority to tell you silence in the court, and I have the authority to say no, I won't be quiet.
Yeah.
Is anyone going to argue with me on that I have the authority to say no?
Yeah.
Is there an argument against it? There's not really, is there? I mean, you could potentially get yourself into shit, so I wouldn't advise other people do it.
Yeah.
I was
Unless you
being
know
a
how to
bit
break it down in
reckless,
response.
but
yeah,
it's an in the moment thing, and it's more if you know what you're saying is right and you are establishing the truth, then people can see and feel that in you, and they're more likely to just listen to you. If you seem unsure of what you're saying, people are not going to really listen to you, are they?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. That's how it is. So you have to believe in what you're saying to people for people to believe you when you're saying it.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, that's why you can't lie to people, really. People will see through it, certain people.
There's a lot of liars out there.
They don't realise I'm live,
yeah. Is that your mic gone quiet?
Yeah, it's somebody's calling me. I keep ignoring them.
Oh, is that what it is? Yeah, because that happens my end, when I get phone calls and that as well. Usually when I'm doing my show. And it's like, oh, man.
I honestly don't know if I can add anything more of any relevance to this. So if you want to put somebody else on the live, of course.
Well, I'm gonna finish off anyway because I've been on for quite a while. Thank you so much for all your input as usual, all your, your wealth of information. And
you're welcome.
I particularly needed to know that as well, that you've broken down today. So that was amazing because I've literally, like I said, trying to answer them questions this week and racking my brains as to, why I've come to those conclusions and how is it possible that they're messing with the statistics. And so, yes, so I'd be able to answer that a lot better now and the reasons
why. I don't see how a D-notice serves any interest to the public.
Yeah.
Should we put it that way? Yes. I don't see how it serves any interest to the public.
No, definitely not. No, it's
for their own I can only think of reasons contrary for that. Contrary to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there isn't any interest, is there? From yeah,
There doesn't seem to be, not that I can think of.
like,
I
me
mean,
either.
what are they trying to protect us from? Knowledge of
Exactly.
reality, knowledge of what really is going on.
Yeah,
How are they protecting us from that?
yeah, exactly. Because it's
I
not.
fail to
It's
imagine.
sort. It's their own agenda.
Of course it is. That's what I would say.
Yeah. So yeah, once again, thank you. Yeah. But so
You're
yeah,
welcome.
thank you for coming up on the live. Thank you for sharing your information. And I mean, over this year, I mean, you've taken part a lot in these lives, you know, and I think between everyone, we know what we need to do, where we're heading, what the solutions are, what are the things holding us back. So I think we've done amazing, kind of, to get this far, know what we're doing, but it's how we action now, or get action, law changes, and get some of the system changed.
I don't mean to sound like a doommonger, but I don't have a great deal of hope in changing
I
much,
know,
to be
I just have
honest.
to keep, staying
Not,
positive.
not that I don't have hope, sorry, wrong
Yeah.
word. I don't have a great deal of expectation of any fruit forthcoming from that.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I can understand that, because it gets like that. And the more you look into it, the more you think we're against the whole grain. You know, everything is
it's
the
not
opposite.
just a long shot, but it's a long shot in the dark with a blindfold on as well.
Yeah. And probably
And
with
a
someone chopping
minuscule
your legs
target.
off.
That's what I think the chances are. I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a pessimist, but I don't know. I'm 44 and I haven't seen
Well, you're
much
still younger
positive.
than me, all right?
Well, I think both of us can probably agree that we ain't seen a great deal of positivity coming out of trying to get the law changed so far
No,
in our
no,
lives.
no. We can but try, though. So I'm just,
Um, Have you noticed how every single time they run a bill past people, they suggest, oh, we're going to use this for this. Then they pass it, and then they use it for something
something else.
completely fucking different to what
Yeah,
they said that they're
yes,
going to use it for.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Have you
noticed
also
that.
noticed how when they extract statutory instruments from the legislation,
Yeah,
the police authorities will use a particular section to interpret it in a certain manner how they see fit. It will be completely taken out of
context.
context,
Yeah, made to fit.
completely removed from context, put in their own context, reinterpreted in their own context,
Mhm.
and then you might get another organization like social services.
Yeah.
They'll take exactly the same section and
Change it
derive
to this.
completely different
Yeah, because it's all
statutory
about
instruments from.
interpretation. Yeah,
Yeah,
of
that's
those.
right. That's right. That's why I always say to people, be very careful of the words they use. You got to learn how to be word specific, just like they are.
Yeah. See, I learned that when I was doing my law degree. Not that I finished it, but luckily, the first year that I did do, it was all about that. So I'm able to look into actual laws,
I,
and
I
yeah,
didn't know you did a
the
law
word.
degree.
Yeah, because I
Okay.
always wanted to be a barrister, right?
Okay.
Oh my God. And then as I've grown, so much things have happened as well. And I still wanted to learn more about the law, because it's fucked me over that much when I've been a victim. Like, and you think, what? Hang on. This is mad. So I had to kind of look into stuff, know what the law is, work out why I didn't get a resolve or anything done. But that's my interest. That's why I have, interest in that. And thankful that I
Well,
learned that.
you're aware of the different meanings for certain words in the English language that are used in context of the law, then,
Hmm.
such as must and may being interchangeable.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a dodgy one, isn't it?
Hmm.
How weird is that? That
Yeah,
must and may are interchangeable, synonymous in
yeah,
the law,
yeah.
and in common language they mean completely different
Different.
things.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
within that,
Yeah. Another thing, a lot of people don't realise, in capite, the law of in capite was removed from the law centuries ago. So anybody who thinks they own property, nobody's owned property for centuries.
wow.
Centuries. That ended when they abolished the law of in capite. In capite was a right that we had to own land separate from the monarch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we could basically just own our own land and nobody could take it from us. Nobody could repossess it.
Oh, shit.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
They'd
now
have
we've
to
got
pay you to build on it, to rent it from you, whatever. That all goes to you directly. That's been abolished hundreds of years ago. So nobody owns land and nobody has done for centuries.
But under the
And
impression they do. Yeah.
one thing I want to raise awareness of before I do let you go is the biggest robbery in the history of mankind in terms of your rights and property is going to occur if we are not careful. The plot of Parliament to completely abolish the institution of monarchy should be opposed by the general public at all costs.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you this, I absolutely do not support the House of Vetten that are currently on our throne.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I believe the institution of monarchy itself pertains to our rights in this country. And once that is gone,
Oh.
your rights disappear with it.
Yeah.
And also, furthermore, you understand in the law, you know that I'm right about this. Because the oath and everything, even though the oath is symbolic, it completely disappears.
Wow.
You can't reinstate the monarchy once it's gone. It's almost impossible, as you can see with France and various other countries that have rejected monarchy or done away with it. Another thing, the physical robbery I was talking about, the Crown Estate. Crown Estate was instituted by my ancestor William as estate that cannot be owned by any living man or woman. It may only be owned by a corporate entity called the Crown, with a capital T and a capital C.
Yeah.
The Crown is a corporate fictional entity called a corporate person.
Yeah.
This was instituted so that nobody can own the Crown tenancy land or property. And in doing away with the monarchy, what the government will do is seize ownership of all of that Crown tenancy property.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
and that's hundreds of millions of pounds worth of land and property, more than you can imagine. So it is a huge robbery that they're trying to carry out.
Yeah, because it kind of looks like it's heading that way. With everything that's
And
going
one of the
on.
reasons this is a massive concern is not only do they turn into multi-billion pound oligarchs practically overnight, but I don't know if people realize this, but all of the money that they, I still haven't figured out exactly why they tell us they have to ask the IMF and the World Bank for permission to print British pounds from the Bank of England. But anyway, if anyone can resolve that with some common sense and logic, please do educate me, because I'm still struggling to get that. It seems to be nothing more than agreement between them to pull off a farce, pull off something that just tricks people into believing a certain process has to be undergone. And at the end of the day, all of the national heritage land and all of the national preserve land, like our national parks and that.
Yeah.
That's what they've used as collateral to put against all of the alleged money that they've borrowed in our names.
Oh my God.
Now, the public tend to not be aware that all of the shit that they take from the IMF and the World Bank is done in your name, the general public.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
That's
they take it all
disgusting.
in
Yeah.
your name. Yeah, and this is them saying, "Oh, but we're the government. We administrate for on the people's behalf."
Hmm.
So that's why they'll put it to you. They have the right to do this. So every penny they take it in your name.
Hmm.
They suck most of it to themselves, and you and everybody else sees barely a sniff of it. Yeah.
Mm.
So it doesn't even go to you, even though it's being taken in your name.
Yeah.
And furthermore, the national treasure land that they've been using as collateral for these loans, they've been losing it to the World Bank, bit by bit by bit, plot by plot.
Oh my
They've been
God. Yeah.
losing our national parks and stuff to the World Bank because none of these loans can ever be paid. That's what I'm telling you. And they know it before they
Yeah.
take it as well.
Oh my
What they don't tell you, darling, what they don't tell you is every time they ask the IMF or the World Bank or whatever, can we print this much money? It's a separate loan from all the loans that have passed before
Previously.
it.
Yeah.
It's not, they do in some context talk about it all as one thing, but it's all separate agreements that have been made.
Yeah, for each
In
transaction.
stages, step by step. And every agreement they've made has timed out and they've lost the land. So they haven't been telling you this,
No.
but they've been giving away our country to the World Bank and the IMF, plot
Oh
by
my
plot
God.
by plot,
Yeah.
without you knowing. So is it a surprise that Vanguard and BlackRock are said to own the world
No.
when you know
Not if that's
this?
going on. Yeah. It's not surprising.
Because I think they've been contracted by the World Bank, haven't they?
Oh, I don't
Vanguard
know.
and BlackRock, from
Yeah.
what I can tell, they're a bit shady. It's difficult to find out a huge amount about them.
Yeah. I just want to shout out Younger
Like I
Bones.
said,
He's saying big up Lee and Dubs. Shout out to you. Yeah. But yeah, it's
big
been
up to you
great having
too.
you on. I'm gonna lock the live off, all right?
Oh,
I think
nice.
I'm gonna finish up, I think.
They did remember.
Yeah. Happy Father's Day.
They did. What have they got me? Oh, wicked. You're going to love this. You're going to like this as well. Anti-skid vinyl coasters.
Oh, nice. Brilliant. Ooh.
Look, turntables
Oh,
and
nice.
vinyls. Remember
Yeah.
them?
Cool.
That's all I ever used to use. I remember when CDJ turntables first came out.
Yeah.
And being an old stubborn bugger, I just said, nah, bun that. I ain't ever using CDs. I'm a vinyl man.
Yeah.
Scratch mixing.
Mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just want to
You
shout
wouldn't-
out Tigo as well, just joined us. Lots of love to you. But yeah, big up and happy Father's Day to everyone today. Cool. We haven't heard from either of my kids' dads. Oh, it's mad. Right.
My daughter wants me to show you something before you log off.
Okay.
She's just
Brilliant.
been running upstairs.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she's a bit excited about something.
Oh.
I showed her something recently and I posted it. I posted a video of it. But I don't know. She wants me to hurry up then. She ain't got all day. No, I don't know where it is.
Oh, Younger Bones is saying big up all the real dads. Yeah. Yeah, my kids'
I'm
dads, they're not real ones.
Anything flat. A card maybe. Yeah, why not? It'll work. So she wants me to show you this, which is a cup of water.
Yeah.
And you can put a flat thing on it. Oh, is it going to work?
Cool.
Is it going to work? maybe this particular surface is because it's paper.
Oh, okay.
I think the water's trying to run out of it. It needs to
Yes.
be something plastic, I believe.
Oh,
Yeah, or it won't create a vacuum. She wants me to show you that when you put a plastic lid or something on the cup and turn it upside down,
yeah.
it will just hold the water in the cup.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It needs to be
Brilliant.
something that the water doesn't soak into.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I suppose it'll be
Yeah,
plastic.
so that didn't work. But if I had the plastic lid that she wanted me to show you, but it's disappeared. So next time, or
Oh,
maybe just check out my video. It would have been
okay.
cool for your live feed, but I'm sorry it didn't work.
Oh, don't worry.
So we had a
Yeah.
paper card.
Oh, that's a nice
Never
present,
mind,
though.
Dave. Never mind. Say never mind.
Oh,
I'll
it's so
let you
cute.
go. If you want to add someone else, there's 9 people in here.
No, I've got to lock off. I need to go
Oh,
out.
okay.
Because I was intending to come on for an hour, and I think I've done nearly 2 hours. But it's so easy
Oh,
to
yeah.
done because, like, it's what we're talking about. Do you know what I mean? And that tends to happen no matter when I do these lives. And I've learned a lot today. We've spoken about a lot, plans of actions going forward. So yeah, so thank you again, all right, for joining me. Hello.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on the live.
It's always a pleasure. You're a wealth of knowledge.
That one wants to say hello as well.
Meow.
She's meowing.
My cat's really talkative as well.
Yeah, this one is.
My grandson, it's no matter when we do FaceTime and that, he does meowing. Then I have to put the cat on. The cat will meow.
Is the talkative one a black cat by any chance?
No, mine's.
No.
I think she's a tabby, but she's really furry, and I presume she's part Persian or something. She's just so fluffy. But she's very vocal, very, very vocal.
I don't know why, but I think black cats are just totally different from all other cats. I've had a lot of
I've ever
cats.
had just a black cat. No.
I love them. They're the
Oh.
best ones for me. They're the best ones. They look like little panthers, don't they?
Oh yeah, as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're my favourite.
Oh, that's cute. Oh. Well, I'm going to love you all and leave you, all right? So have a wonderful rest of your day, all right? Father's Day, enjoy that with the kids, all right? Lots of love to all of you and Amina as well.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell her.
All right?
I'm not sure she might be on the live, but I'll let her know.
Okay. All right, so have a great rest of your Father's Day and I'll catch up with you soon, all right? Okay? All right. Have a good rest of your day, all right? Bye. Bless you. Got a message from Mr. Anderson. He says, bless up everyone. Enjoy your Sunday. Big up to the fathers. Yeah, you're actually out here. Yeah. Big up, all right? Thank you all for joining me today, all right? Lots of love. Okay? All right, and I'll catch up with you soon.